This is a snapshot of one of my photograph albums. It's not in order, and some of it's in the UK and some of it's down here in New Zealand. That's me at 15 on a dot. That's me when I played for Durham Wasps for a season. This was a great era. Brough Park, 855 van and 2 Mark 7 Jags and a Mini. This was some of the mini choppers I started to build down here years ago. And we're back to 14 I bought John Malkinson. My Anglia, my Triumph Thunderbird, my 855 van. My Mark 1 mini chopper, 1, 2, 3 and a trike. My logo for my tank that I designed. This was a day to forget. I crashed on a 500 Triumph in a diamond speedway frame. Had amnesia for a week or so. That's Malkinson, John, Martin. Me, Martin, John. John's C15 I bought of him. That's me monkey bike replica I built down here. That's me Fiat 1500L I bought from Berkey's at the Northern Hard Facing Company at work. My Land Rover MRM60 that I put a straight 6 in and wide wheels and chopped the bumper and messed with it and towed the stock out. That's a Pilot I had. That was my collection of monkey bikes down here. That was a very successful off-roader with the GSX 1100, first set of ATC tyres in New Zealand on the back and a Holden limited slip diff head. Then I built, before that I had the giant Jeep, which is a 400 Chevy, parked next to Dennis Linton's Willys. Scaled it up a bit and made the big pig. There's a favourite, the old Sea Cab, which was a Gilburn Invader. And then there's the famous Dodgem car at Felton Drag Strip and my minivan. This is when I had a spate of bantams. Like I had a speedway bantam, I had a road race bantam, I had a trials bantam, I had a go to work bantam, I had bantams. And then we got down here, we got the plane, the Hayabusa, the V6, the 3-wheeled Mini, a few years ago now. There's my famous Red Zeppelin. Chopper was a 22-inch wide back tyre. After the Wheelies Dodgem came the Wheelies Jeep, which wasn't as good as the Dodgem. That black and white picture there is Chris Watson at Felton. You might remember him with his famous Anglias. Aussie's Brothers Milk Van, CF Bedford. This was at Camas Beach on a Triumph Thunderbird, playing silly buggers. 360 Greaves I bought off Malcolm Knott. Monkey bike bought off Paul Gales. Triumph Mini on a dot. CH at Rising Sun Pity. Bit moderner times is GMC Sierra. There's my monkey bike replica. There's Krusty Demons press conference. All the mini choppers I built and lent them to Krusty Demons when they had their first show in New Zealand. This is some more mad stuff. Mini bike, Mark II chopper mini bike. It was one of the first boats I built. 26-foot SR racing clipper. There's my off-roader again, famous. There's a Jeep and the Dennis's Jeep. Choppers, boats, monkey bike, Krusty Demons. That's the boat getting the boat, Das Boat. Prick of a job, fiberglass. I made a drop down transom and chopped the arse end off, and yeah, it was good. Long time ago. Boat. Oh, the mould, when I did the top deck, the mould picked up and was back in disaster. You chop the mould up, I had to chop it up and scrap it. Onward and upward. That's my Sleek Line, that was a nice boat. Polaris jet ski, Sidewinder. That was a popping. No, that was can't even know what to call it. Helter Skelter, maybe. Is it? Falling to bits. There's an Argo I had. It was alright, except it had a V-dub engine in it. Or gearbox, sorry. Suzuki Jeep fell off. Suzuki Jeep fell off, as they do. Another collection of mini bikes. More mini bikes. Stacks of mini bikes. That was the first dog down here. Lockie, great old fella. He had a huge collection of mini bikes, mini trails, QA50s. And then I started building the choppers. More mini bikes. More. Lots of them. I had 7 XR200s at one stage. I used to rent them off, $1 a minute. They kind of break them. Getting on here. Mini bikes, XRs. That was a TLR, I think. Trials bike. It's playing behind the shed. That was a BSA Cup I won on the Montesa 349 Cotter. That's Shane Ace, me, and I can't remember who the other guy was. That's the bulldozer I had. It was the first new bike I ever bought, a PA 250X. They were cheap because they were run out. Pro links were coming out. It's Gary Nears, made Horror 2. Again, Gary, Horror 2. Me on the first Fantic in New Zealand. Horror 2, Fantic. We'll get back to some of the old stuff. Yeah, that was my Mustang. Paid off 715 quid for it. That was an Anglia I bought off Aussie's in-laws, I think. That was my Doodlebug Beetle. And that was Bob Thompson's Sunbeam, my Mini, Jim Mackay's XCL9 Sprite, me putting an engine in a minivan, Mustang. First ever car, well, second car on the road, I had a 100E van before that, and then that got written off. School teacher hit us, pissed us off. And after that I started getting my Minis, the black one. The Test from Berkeley Scrapyard, that's down here, copy of what used to chase us up there. Mini from Old End Slipway, sold it to Ronnie Taylor. That's Graham Everson taking a photograph of my big Jeep at the first ever mud drags in New Zealand, which I won. Pissed a lot of people off. That was one of the early off-roaders. It was a shitter. That was the Jeep. I've still got that trophy. And that was 519. That was my old Mini. Got that for Nout from the panel beaters and colour coats. Benriop oil rig, Benriop or Daewoo shipyard. That was when I'd come down here and I worked. Benriop. That's the Suez Canal. Benriop. This is down here. This was the Mark 1 and the Mark 2 rocket. That was the inside of the Mark 1. It was more comfortable than the Mark 2, but never mind. It's a MRM 60 Land Rover I bought from down Tanner's Bank for 50 quid, I think. That was me over a barrel on the A55. That was the Benriop leaving Nelson for Spain. That was the Land Cruiser fell off down the back. That was a car built for Barry before I started using tube, like in the background. And that was a wonder race. I flipped it twice, lapped everybody apart from Wayne Holmes, and they tried to disqualify us. It was hell on. They just didn't like it up them. This was a road test gone wrong. Another one of them cruisers I bought off Neville Roberts. I was trying to sell it to Garth, and Dwayne passed us in the Suzuki Jeep and pissed us off, so we went a bit silly on it and fell off. cracked a couple of transverse crossbrays, and there's a Mini Mac. There's a Mini Mac, was orange first, then it went black. There's a Hayabusa Mini. That was mental. Mental as anything. It's going back a while. That was a L200 on a cruiser chassis. That was a Transit 4-wheel drive. That was a Corvette Stingray built by Warren Mack that I would put on a 4-wheel drive chassis and threw it away because it was shit, and built a big Jeep on it instead. A giant Jeep. Some off-road frames. Straight with this. Moving the system. Oh look! Wasted space. That must have been one of my favourites down here, the plane, and then the Mini V-twin Honda Shadow, V4 Honda. There's Jody and the rocket. There's the Mark 1 and the Mark 2 rocket. There's the first Jippo caravan that I built down here. It's inside the Gypsy caravan. There's the board racing. There's the Hayabusa Mini. Hayabusa Mini in red thing. This was the one I smashed my fingers building it with a Ford V6, and this other kid finished it and claimed all the credit, but Jim Mackay did all the hard work on the narrowing the axles and stuff, and I did all the chassis. But you get over it. More XRs. That was an early buggy I built, realising that big is not beautiful. Batman Pearl cars, designed, built, manufactured and franchised to Warner Brothers, and ended up losing about 40 grand on the deal. First Fantic in New Zealand. I just took a picture on the pipeline because I like the D8 old one and the D8 new one. That was at Horror 2. Peter Groves took the picture. That was a race where I flipped twice. So that was an old cruiser that got written off and built into something else. That was Miss Sphinx. That was a fast forward full race Volvo AQ155, I think it was, or something, or 185. Escort V6 I had. That was a Mitsubishi L200 that got straightened and repaired. That was Jeep, spelt with 3 E's because it was that big Jeep. That was a Jeep in the trophy. That was a Jeep covered in mud. That was White Racker Park where I won it. That was John, what's his name, who died from White Racker Park. Oh, it stopped. That was just a brief outlook. There's a lot more somewhere.